What's up, everybody? And today we're checking out the night Osama Bin Laden was killed, May 1st, 2011. This is by a channel called War is Hell. I will leave a link down below to the original video. This is one of them that I feel like I've been sent so many times for so long, and I've just put it off for so long. It really is do a watch. With that being said, I don't really remember much of the day that Osama was killed. 2011, it was the last year I was in the Marines. I just don't remember it that much. I don't remember hearing much news of it. Maybe I was busy doing something in the military, and it just kind of like went over my head. But yeah, I don't really remember much of it happening. And obviously I was in the UK at the time. Or maybe, was I out on operations then? Was I doing Op Cougar? Which was a operation where I did anti-piracy. Maybe I was away then. Maybe that's why I didn't hear much of it. Anyway, I was not in the US, and so this is going to be very interesting to watch because obviously in the US it was a lot more sensitive considering the events that happened there, right? And although there were terrorist attacks in the UK, obviously 9/11 was the big one, wasn't it? And so let's watch this. Let's see what the reaction was like. Let's see what the atmosphere was like. I'm sure this is going to be a very emotional video. So yeah, sit back, get yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever you need to do, and let's watch it, let's enjoy it, and let's relax. And I don't think I've got anything else to announce. Obviously, link down below in the description, links to everything in the description. I've got some announcements coming up very soon. I've got a cool video out next week about a friend of mine who's doing some charity work. So yeah, get hyped for that as well. Anyway, I'll shut up, let's pull this up, and let's watch this. Holy loud.
We had a division rivalry between the Mets and the Phillies. The ballpark was full. It was a really lively atmosphere, but...
Oh, so this was actually like on TV. This was, I think this is ESPN. I think that's what it is. I'm probably going to get copyright claim for this then, so just don't forget to like and subscribe.
You know, at the time, I just thought I was sitting down to do a regular baseball game.
Yeah.
We didn't know what was going on. We just knew something special happened. And I don't know how to describe that when you don't know what's going on, but you know it's special.
The afternoon was spent on pins and...
That picture is so iconic, isn't it? I remember seeing this picture 100%. Such an iconic picture, isn't it? I mean, look at the intensity on everyone's face, hoping that this mission goes well. They made a film about it, I'm pretty sure. I haven't seen it. I haven't actually seen the film. Do you know what? I bet it would be really good. What's the film called? Let me Google it real quick. Let me Google it real quick. Zero Dark 30. Is that what it is? It didn't get the best reviews, apparently. Is that what the film was? If it is... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. If it is, maybe we'll watch it together. Who's up for that? Maybe with me and members, we'll have it. I'll like have it on and I'll have like a timestamp of where I'm up to in the video, and we'll all kind of like watch it together and have reactions. Let me know what you think about that.
Needles. I wasn't watching sports that night.
May 1st, 2011. 10 years. 10 years after 9/11. Isn't that crazy? 10 years.
Another packed house here at Citizens Bank Park and an awfully nice night for a ball game here in Philadelphia. The New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies Sunday night baseball.
Can you believe I never went to a baseball game when I was living in the US for 9 years? I guess when you grow up in a country where there's a sport that's so prevalent, like obviously for me it's football, soccer. If you're in America, it's football to me. It's almost hard to get into any other sports. Like I couldn't get into American football or baseball or basketball or any of it. I just couldn't get into it. Weird, right? I tried. And I guess the Super Bowl, like we'd have family parties for the Super Bowl, my wife's family. But it just wasn't really something that I could get into, even though I tried, which is a shame, really. I would have loved to have got into it more.
You know, it's always a rivalry when a New York team and a Philadelphia team get together.
I think for the most part we respected one another, but I think certainly we didn't like each other.
When I was wearing red and white pinstripes, I couldn't stand orange, black, and blue. I just couldn't.
Mets-Phillies rivalry, it's based on proximity. There's a little bit of a big brother, little brother issue going on, I think.
It's very much, and sorry, I keep pausing it, but I want people to understand how I relate to this. It's almost like seeing Manchester City blue. Like, I can't stand that colour blue anymore. Because obviously I'm a Manchester United fan. I have been all my life. If I see that light blue, it instantly reminds me of that team, and I can't stand them.
It was extra special, obviously. That rivalry was always electric atmosphere.
Even in our production meeting prior to, I remember someone making the point that this is the only show in town. And by that, I mean really the only major sporting event going on across the country. And that's not often the case.
Wow. Bottom of the sixth inning.
0-2 count on the lead.
So this must be where they announced it then.
A foul tip held by Paulino. Lee strikes
Oh my
out.
God, why have I got goosebumps already? It's almost like chilling in a way. Like, it's so anticipated for so long.
One down.
Wow.
Watching the game, we have monitors here, watching Twitter on the laptop, and the White House reporters that I follow. They started talking back and forth about the president has called a news conference.
Our news editor, Claire Smith, passed a note along at some point to me, POTUS news conference tonight. To me, honestly, you know, I'm locked in on what's going on in the field. I'm not even factoring in what this could mean.
Yeah, there's conferences all the time, right? Like, maybe like a snap one at that time of night is a bit bizarre. But there are conferences every now and again, so it probably, to them, they were probably like, yep, cool, let's just keep an eye on it, just in case it's anything serious. But for the most part, let's just enjoy the game. I'm sure that's what was going through their mind.
And Young strikes him out as the Phillies leave the bases loaded here in the seventh inning.
10:48. Still the same score.
It was a one-run ball game. The tying run was on base, and Ryan Howard's coming up. But all of a sudden, you become aware of something else.
I looked down at my phone and I got a text from a buddy who always watched games, and he said they got Bin Laden.
Bobby nudged me with his...
Oh, I'm sure he announced it, right? I wonder if the crowd started cheering before they announced it.
...elbow and showed me his phone. You know, this isn't in the play-by-play handbook. They don't tell you how to deal with this one.
Yeah.
There were rumors that Osama Bin Laden had been, you know, the United States had got him, and that they'd killed him.
Tom Archer, our producer, right away said, we're trying to corroborate it. Don't say anything yet. We're preparing a statement. So you try to put it out of your mind for a second, and you keep calling the game.
They've only got 2 hits in this game.
I bet people start cheering before it's announced, because people are going to look at the phone, surely.
They've got 3 hits in this game. Mayberry getting the wave. The throw from Bay, not in time, and the Phillies have tied it.
When we understood what was happening and that this was less a rumor and more fact, we said we're going to bring the announcers on camera at the end of the 8th inning.
Ground ball to second, inning over.
So it's going to announce it now. I don't know why, but I've got like goosebumps.
Some breaking news for those of you who have been with us on the ball game. ABC News is reporting that Osama Bin Laden has been killed, and a presidential news conference is upcoming momentarily.
I think thereafter, we had our eyes open for when that bit of news was going to find its way into the 40,000 plus people who were at Citizens Bank Park.
10:57. I wish I was there. I wish I was there to witness something like this. Do you know what I mean? It's like cultural, like this. It's almost as if, like, you know, there was something that was so traumatic to a nation, of which were 9/11. And this just gives like that little bit of just a tiny bit of kind of like I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but just something that finally, do you know what I mean? Like finally, a little bit of something that they can be happy that's been resolved from the whole issue. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, because it's not really revenge. It's not really, you know, an anger thing. It's more of a, like all I can think of is like finally something to show that we're taking back control of after what happened.
At the very beginning of the 9th inning, my now wife, fiance at the time, just happened to be on her phone, I guess. It wasn't the most entertaining game for her.
On CNN, an article popped up about, it's not confirmed yet, but it looks like Bin Laden has been killed. And then, you know, I turned to my fiance and said, hey, look at this is something.
My friend next to me, she suddenly lets out a, oh my God, we killed Bin Laden. After that, everything changed.
Got a chant of USA as
the
news goes through the crowd.
Holy.
There were 2 events going on at once. One was a baseball game.
Yeah.
And one is a hugely significant world event.
Wow.
Which people, one by one, are finding out about around the ballpark.
Wow.
Once the word started to leak out, we were told to find people sharing cell phone information with people beside them, find people that were excited, jumping up and down.
Surely did they not announce it over the? Is there like some sort of announcement thing that they could have made over the speakers of the game? I don't know. I obviously I can only relate this to my football, to soccer, is they have an announcer who says stuff that like the speakers all around the pitch. Surely they should have had someone like pause the game and just announce it.
That night, it was pretty easy to find good shots.
That's when I decided to pull out my phone. It just kind of struck me as this is like a once-in-a-lifetime kind of moment.
Wow.
There's no place in the world right now where there are more Americans gathered than in that ballpark. And they were all experiencing this rush of emotion simultaneously and spontaneously. The players, of course, had no idea what was going on.
That's why they should have announced it. Surely they should have said it over like the Tannoy thing.
Very rarely do you hear USA chants break out, you know, out of nowhere. So it's kind of just a bit of a state of confusion. Then you get locked in for your bag.
Yeah, that was weird.
And I'm thinking, what national team's playing and who they playing and who they beat?
Was there a soccer game going on?
Yeah.
I thought maybe there was a hockey game going on. I was confused.
That's why they should have announced. I'm sure they're going to get to it. They should have announced it so that everyone was aware. Just pause the game for a second, announce it, and then crack on.
And it kind of took me off of what I was doing.
Just missed outside of the knees. And a base runner for the Mets here in the 9th inning at a 1-1 tie. Wright is running and steals it. Let's go down to field level with Wendy Nix. Wendy?
Well, Dan, you're exactly right. As word begins to filter through the ballpark about Osama Bin Laden, the players, at least in the Phillies dugout, are clearly unaware. They don't have the same devices that we have.
That must be really daunting.
Directly adjacent to the Phillies dugout. They're looking at me, like, you know, and they're looking at each other, and they're looking at their manager. And the obvious question, do you know what's going on?
And here comes the USA chant again.
We didn't know what was going on. We just knew something special happened.
You know, obviously, being in the UK, like, it's a bit of a disconnect. Obviously, now I'm an American citizen, and so I have that connection now because I consider myself an American. I lived there for, you know, a third of my life. I've lived there. But when I was young and 9/11 happened, it almost seemed like a kind of like a weird dream. Like I remember being told on the way back from primary school about it. It was very weird. And then obviously when they got Osama, it's almost as if I was busy in the military that it just never really clicked. And so that connection that a lot of US citizens that were scarred from 9/11, obviously, this was a very emotional moment for them, and rightly so.
And you're in an out, but you're in an in. You're a part of it, but part of what?
Jason Bay is going to be the batter.
I got no idea what's going on, and I'm Canadian, you know, and I'm thinking, I've been called a lot of things, especially in Philly, but, you know, the USA thing, they're trying to get under my skin.
Yeah.
2 on, 2 out. Bay the batter, tied at 1 in the 9th inning. In the air to center field. Inning over.
Everybody's coming into the dugout, and we're all kind of looking at each other, and, you know, obviously the chants are still going, and we're sitting there going, okay, what's happened here? And the trainer kind of breaks the news to all of us.
That's kind of how it spreads, is by that word of mouth. Obviously, you know, no question, the baseball game becomes secondary to, you know, the news and the president, you know, addressing the country, you know, a few minutes after that.
The White House has just announced that the president will address the nation about 1 minute from now.
Oh my God. I wonder if that's when they announce it on the tannoy then. It just makes no sense. I feel like instead of having everyone confused and stuff, that they would have just said it, but...
Good evening. Tonight, I can report to the American people and to the world that the United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama Bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda, and a terrorist who's responsible for the murder of thousands of innocent men, women, and children.
Wow.
What we remembered right away was the chants that we started hearing outside the White House. And, you know, my working assumption is that if people had gathered that quickly outside of the White House, chanting USA, USA, that across the country, the same thing was taking place.
What an incredible moment, you know? Incredible.
The Mets a strike away from victory. Got him.
Ooh.
The breaking ball to get him Mayberry, and finally the New York Mets hang on to beat the Phillies 2-1 tonight.
Here we are, a team from New York, a team from Philadelphia.
Why did the stadium look so empty? Do you see that then?
To beat the Phillies 2-1 tonight.
Here we.
I can't remember how long a baseball game goes on for, but in football, it's almost kind of like a thing where you don't really leave until the very end unless you're getting beat like crazy. Do you know what I mean?
We are a team from New York, a team from Philadelphia, rivals, playing one another, trying to knock each other's teeth out, but the game isn't that significant anymore.
Yeah.
It's weird. Just being able to high five and hug Phillies fans and have that common ground.
Wow.
Fans you're supposed to be enemies with. All of a sudden, it became a moment of celebration, a moment of pride.
For one night, you know, it wasn't Philadelphia, New York, it was the United States of America coming together. That's something special.
That's cool. Woo! That's cool. Yeah, great video. Yeah, it's almost as if like I was so disconnected because I was still in the military, and it just, you know, it was just another day, I think, for me personally. And I think I might have been on operations on Cougar then, so I'm not too sure where my headspace was. I remember seeing that image of them in the operation room when it happened, because that's a very famous picture. Yeah, let me know what everyone thinks about that film. I could do some sort of thing where I go live and I'll put, like, as soon as I press play on my monitor, I'll put like a timestamp, because obviously I won't be able to show it on the TV, on the YouTube video, and we could just kind of watch it together and just, like, you know, vibe and talk about it. I think that'd be so fun. I haven't done anything like that on this channel before, and what better way to start it than a video about something like that, about very impressive operation that happened, you know? Let me know what you think in the comments. Great video, very emotional video. I'll leave a link down below to the original video in the description down below. Go watch it if you want to watch it without me waffling over the top. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.